This meeting is being recorded. So no verbal question, just raise your hand. I will come to each and every question. I will follow the order that been shared with Anjali ma'am on the group. What we will do, I will do three things today. A, I will follow the logistics. We'll try to take all the question of logistics because the batch is starting from tomorrow. That means you need to be quite comfortable with the logistics as the schedule. When is your debate? What is your motion? That's the first thing I will try to solve. So please be attentive on that. And please ask questions just pertaining to this in this part, like the next 15 minutes. So let's come to that. So by this time, all of you should have received this Excel sheet or the PDF. Both are in the group, WhatsApp group. That's the first thing. And if that's the true, that I know that this is the sheet, then I obviously know my name. Then for example, if I have to find a team for say I need to look, my name is, let's take the example of Fatima. So Fatima is a debater and she want to know when her match are. So what she need to do first, she need to identify. So this is my name, the Fatima's name. It's the row 77. So my partner is Varnika as a Fatima. So the pair is Fatima and Varnika. Now, obviously, this is the school, but I guess in this case, it's going to be dynamic pair. So other schools are there, not there. You can mention to the group. But first thing, I need to identify Varnika. I need to converse with her, Varnika, like before the match. Don't leave it till tomorrow. If you don't know your pair, then just ping on the group that Varnika, could you ping me? You need to touch base with your partner before the match. That's the first thing. So all of you have identified your partners. May I know, can you raise your hands? How many of you have paired up with your partners? Okay, let me just see. Okay, there are still a lot of names who have not have a partner. And for others who don't have a partner, like they have not conversed with the partner, what's the reason? May I know from anyone? Nihal, Niharika, Ananya, why you have not contacted your partner? What's the challenge?
Folks, these debates are about chemistry between partners as well. You have to be able to define what motions I will speak, what you will speak. So please do that. But it's lovely to see all the hands up. Yes, Kamal, please carry on.
Sure. So that's the first thing. For debaters who have not identified their partners, do it immediately, do it on the group. If others are not responding, we will share their number, but do it today. That's the most important thing. If that's the case, you identify your team member. And why it's important? Because in a debate, as I mentioned here, that you are opening government. So you need to decide internally who will going to be prime minister, who's going to be deputy prime minister. And then obviously you need to prepare together. That's the crucial part. So form a team. You are already be part of a team, but do contact your team member. If that's the case, that I know that my team is Fatima and Varnika, then I need to know my team name, which is the B column. And obviously you need to look at the entire Excel, entire tab. There are teams who will do the matches on 21st. There are teams who will do it on the 22nd. So look at the entire thing. Then only say your name is not there, because a lot of you are commenting without looking at. And your name can be in the C column. It can be in the D column. If that's the case, then let's go back to the example of Fatima. So if that's the case, then I need to pick my name, the team name, which is DPST1. Then I will go to the entire schedule, all rounds, then again to a control F. Now, each and every team need to play 2 matches before being promoted for the finals. So you will be decided basis 2 matches. So that's why you need to play both. If you miss one, it's not like average, which have been the case for the students who were in the ideal. There is no average, you will lose. If you play just one match, you can't make it to the finals. You have to play both. So be clear about it. And do ensure that your partner is there, because without your partner, you can't do the match. So if that's the case, let's look at this. So as DPST, I need to play 2 matches. So this is my first schedule. So my first match The round one is on 22nd of April, the prepared one. And my match is in the room 3 from 4:30 to 5:30. And my team gonna play the closing government. And this is my motion. This house would ban all further research in gene alteration. That's the first thing. Then I also need to know when is my second match. Okay, this is my second match. On the 22nd, again, my second match will be there. It's at 6:30 to 7:30 in the room 4. We will be playing the role of opening government, and our motion, because of the unprepared round, will be shared 30 minutes prior in the group. This is the basic of logistics that everyone need to be clear. Anyone question on that?
No.
So Dhruvank has a question. Let me just take that question. Give me a second. Sir, what is it? Okay, it's a question on, again, a speaker role. Yes, the preparation time is 30 minutes. So I'm not taking speaker role questions for now. I'm just taking logistics question.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I want to ask that like on 21st, there will be different students. So are the students who are allotted for 22nd are also allowed to join for the 21st one?
No, this is not a match that you can spectate.
Okay, so we have to join at 7:30.
Yes, so you need to join when your match is there. And every one of you has the 2 matches. So if it's your match is 7:30, then also your match will be, between 4:30 to or either 5:30 to 6:30. So do check out both the matches schedule.
So everybody has on 2 days, like tomorrow and day after tomorrow.
Likely either you will be on 21st or 22nd.
Okay.
So
just
I
one
have
day,
both
and within
matches.
a day you will have 2 matches.
So
Yes, Anand, go ahead.
I have 2 matches on the same day.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That everyone, it's for everyone.
Oh, okay, all right. Sorry.
So you will conclude both the matches in a single day. Yeah.
But I'm at
Yeah, Abhay, you're saying something?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I hope all the logistic questions are answered. Now I will come to the motion because there are questions on the motion. Before that, there's one question, Aisha Gupta. For the unprepared motion, do we have to be in the meeting while getting ready? So we will open the link, and you will be in the main room, but you can be off. So you can put your, everything off. But again, as I said, like this is a BP. So we prefer that you don't use online material, and there will be no point in terms of giving factual information. So that's why you need not to rely on that. The highlighted team reported Novice teams. Look, so Novice is something that we have internally. We have not shared it with you. So don't worry on that. If you're a Novice team, and we have a criteria for that, I guess team will share on that. On the group itself, we will have your marks separated. Yeah, it's a compulsory turnout video in the debate. Yes. In only the rare circumstances, we will try to take your speeches when your videos are off, but we prefer to have your videos on. And it's obviously increase your chance to be, because we don't want you to be comfort. Look, the idea is on the final day that you have to speak without laptop. So if you are a potential team for the final day and you are not putting your cameras on, though will not matter, but it's very hard for you to make to the final. So the idea is to engage with your opponent. So have your camera ready. What is Anand saying? Anand, could you put your question? I guess it's going down. It's compulsory. Yeah, it's not compulsory again. In rare circumstances, we'll take it, but you do understand that will give you less chance of making to the final if you're not putting your cameras on. Because we will be comfortable with the debater who are comfortable putting your cameras on, because we can see the reading for the screen or whatever they're doing. Yes, if I'm coming to the motions now, if the logistics is clear. I hope the logistics is clear. So if the logistics are clear, the schedule is clear. Let's go to the.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Siddhant.
So could you please send the schedule for the Mio boys for both 21st and 22nd in the chat, please?
Sure, I'm just sharing you the link of this Google Doc.
There's just one question regarding the speaker role.
Yeah, Vinny. No, wait, look, you're not listening. I'm saying speaker role, just take your time. I'm just finishing one part, which is the logistics schedule. So give me a moment. I will come to the speaker's role. So the first is, let me just iterate for everyone. We will look at the logistics, that everyone need to be clear for the logistics, because that's how will you come to the debate. B, we will take questions on the motion itself, and then all the time will go for the speaker role. So Vineet, I'm here to take your question, but first, any question on the schedule? Mayo student, please look at the chat. I've shared it, and we will share it with your teachers.
Hi, I had a doubt.
Yeah, Kushal, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm not sure whether it exactly falls into logistics or not, but are all rounds open or is like one round or something closed?
So you will get the verdict after each match.
Okay, okay, cool.
So it's open in that sense. OA is a brief time that the adjudicator has. So we prefer not to give any oral adjudication, but verdict surely they will share with you after the match. Yeah, there will be, so everyone is getting chances, buffer time. Yes. Anyway, you also have 30 minutes of preparation time. Will the finalists be announced on 22nd? That's true. Yeah. I hope now all the questions are coming which are not related to the schedule. That means the schedule is clear to everyone. That's perfect. Now, the only thing I'm iterating again, if you don't have, contacted your partner, do it through the WhatsApp group. That's most important. We don't want both of you come to the debate and you have not contacted each other, because that means your debate not going to be of good quality, which will not make you qualify the finals, which we don't want. Even if you are in the 7th and 8th grade, you have the chance of being in the novice final. So please go ahead, talk to your partner. It should look like a coherent speech. Will we get the motion?
Sir, I had a doubt regarding your speaker role.
I'm just coming to the speaker role. I guess a lot of questions is a speaker role. Yeah. Vineet, yes, you will get 30 minutes prior. So if your match is at 6:30, you will get it 6 on the group. Okay. And
Sir,
it's going to differ. Yeah. Just Nana,
Uh,
you're saying something.
so yeah, I was saying that there was a demo match by, I think.
There will be a demo match, but first let me answer the other questions. There are so many questions on the chat.
Oh,
Please remember the motion which is given. Okay, yes, now I'm coming to the questions. So let's look at back. Okay, I'm not helping you. So because it will be unfair if the students are not here. It's all I'm trying to do is look at the debates motion. So let me go to the first one, which is for tomorrow. This house believes that the large technology companies should not be eligible for the patent protection. Now, at the first speaker or everyone, you need to understand the motion before starting the debate. Now, in this debate, there are two parts. One is that this house believes that. This is, I guess, even like the young debaters or the novice debaters are asking this question because they're doing the first time. What is this house believes that means? Yeah, Nana, you're saying something.
no, sir, that was, I think, of before.
Okay. So look, these debates, the British parliamentary is a parliamentary form of a debate. Means that we are assuming this is a common house that a lot of people are sitting and we are talking about new policies, new implementation. So that's the context. And now it can be a classroom, it can be your home, it can be a parliament of a country. So this is house where the actions are being taken which need to be implemented. It can be about action taken in your home. So for example, this house would ban fast food. In this case, it's talk about just your home. It can be about, as this motion, like this house would ban patent protection. Now that's the patent protection in the context of a country. It can be United Nations. So you need to understand that what this motion entails about. So this motion is about companies, and companies generally follows a jurisdiction of a country. So for example, companies within India. So that's the first thing. This house believed that. Now the second part within the DHBT is beliefs. That's the action word. Now that's not the case over here. Look, this is the case in this case. This house would. This is a more of an action-oriented debate. That because this debate talks about banning something. On the other hand, this is just about proving that something is good or not. It's like influencing something. So you are influencing, future policy making, but today you're not taking action. So that's the first thing. THBD versus THW. Now look at the other keywords which need to be defined in a motion. In this debate, anyone want to take an attempt that if this is the debate, what do you understand?
So may I give it a
Please,
try?
yeah, Anand, but no. I will not take any verbal questions or the verbal hand raise. I will take it only through the chat. So everyone, if you don't, I will take only hand raised through the chat. So I'm assuming that whoever's hand is raised on the chat, that means that they want to us to understand the motion. They want to help us to understand the motion. Let me go with Harjas Kaur. Your hand is raised. Harjas, want to explain to us what do you understand by this motion?
I understand that I understand that patent protection, that one house is saying that that large technologies such as maybe Apple or Samsung should not be eligible for patent protection because of this reasons, and the other group is saying the complete opposite. That patent protection, they should be eligible for patent protection. First of all, patent protection is something which grants them an exclusive right over an invention. So one group is saying that these companies should have that exclusive right, and one group is saying that these companies should not have that right.
Perfect. I guess that's great. So now within this debate, what are the things? Look, in this debate, there are a few things which are subjective in nature. Correct. What is subjective in nature? Defining what is a large technology company means. AI gets. This is also a very interesting point. What do you mean by technology companies? Anyone want to take that question? Fatima Zara, your hand is raised. Yeah. Devika, I said like this is an order to follow. So we will come to the speaker role. And we will come to the second motion just after that. Yeah, Fatima.
I think it means technology companies means companies that either manufacture software or manufacture hardware which can run technology.
Technology either to the hardware, the software.
Can I
But wouldn't the company, for example, say company would discover a vaccine for COVID-19? Isn't that a technology company?
Yes, sir.
So you understand, information technology is not the only kind of technology.
You can even have
wouldn't you
biotech.
consider SpaceX as a technology company?
Electronics based company.
Okay.
It can also be biotech. You can also take biotech.
Yeah. It can be pharmaceutical companies, which is like a biotech.
I guess companies which are working on discovering new technologies in the future, I guess those can be classified as technology companies.
Yeah, that's true. That's the first. Yeah, go ahead, Shag.
I was just like saying that doesn't it primarily depend on what the first proposition decides to do with it? I mean, if
it depends on the first prime minister, but at the same time, if prime minister, for example, that's why I'm discussing with you guys. So if the prime minister just talk about information companies, so for example, if it says that they need to create some sort of application, it's only information technologies that person is talking about as a prime minister, then that's a very narrow definition of a technology company.
Made a very specific, so we can argue that the entire emotion has been based very specifically, and this should not be counted because technological companies can be argued different ways. So the prime minister just arguing it for information technology does not really justify what the motion stands for. And I mean, you can argue that in different ways.
Yeah. So as a leader of opposition, you can counter the definition presented by the first speaker, this is the prime minister. But it need to look. So if the challenge, if the challenge to definition comes of the prime minister, it need to come by the leader of opposition. You can't do it in the fourth or the third speech. Do it as soon as possible, which means the leader of opposition need to clarify that we don't buy the definition presented by our prime minister. Yeah, Kushal, go ahead.
Sir, if the leader of opposition does not decides to not do so, can being in the closing opposition team, can we decide to change, like challenge their definition?
Yeah. So look, close. If you're talking about closing, you can obviously add a new dimension. Then it also within your debate, it need come from the member of the government and the member, the first part of your speakers of your teams, in terms of new extension.
So
But
what my,
also just consider that you can't knife your team member the first half. So that you
so
have to just
that's what
look into.
that's confused about. Like, wouldn't if I challenge the opposition,
Your
challenge the
actually your voice is
definition
breaking,
proposed by
so it's very
by
hard
the
to
first half
listen
of
to
the
you.
debate.
Sorry, I'm not able to follow you. Could you try it in the
Just type
chat?
it in.
Yeah, that will be great. Is that clear? So this house believe and this technology company, and the last part is the patent protection. Obviously, you can find the definition of patent and why patent are granted, and they're primarily meant to protect the companies, the innovation that whoever is innovating, they are being safeguarded. Their interests are safeguarded, so other can't copy them. So if they innovate, they put their resources, then they can utilize these resources through distributing that innovation or they themselves manufacturing that. That's for the first motion. Let me go to the second motion, which is this house would ban all further research in gene alteration. Again, this house would ban. Now, it's an action-oriented debate. So we are talking about banning something. So that there's a burden on the first side, which is the team preposition, because you need to say it's not good and bad. It need to be banned. Now, you need to understand what is the gene alteration. Again, I will not go into that. That's your definition. You can go to Google and understand. And now there was some question around, should we talk about sickle cell? Should we talk about this cell? What's that cell? That again will depend on the prime minister. You need to entail that, okay, we will talk about only germline cells or we will not talk about them. So that again depends on your debate. And the second part, you need to at least follow what your initial half has said. So it's going to be dynamic. You need to prepare both ways. Yes, if that's the case, let me just go to the question that we have. Should we talk about models in this house would ban? Yes, so this house would ban. Look, now in case you're saying this house would ban something. Now, what is the model over here? So one of the basic thing that whoever is saying that we want to ban something, they need to say, look, if we say that something is good and bad, then just saying arguments in favor and against are okay. But when you say something is banned, then you need to have some sort of punitive measures. What does it mean? It means that we are saying that we will ban gene alteration. Then if the team opponent says that there can be some rude say parties which will keep on discovering them, and it's really hard for them to stop, and researchers are already working on it. Then you need to define that what's going to be your punitive measure, that if someone you know go on do that gene editing, what your model going to be, how will you stop it, will you going to punish them, what it going to entails. Obviously you can have a simple model and the model can keep evolve as the question come from your team opposition. We'll keep our cameras on. Look, this is a question. Yes, so if you are speaking, then ideal is you should have your camera on. When your partner is speaking, then you can put your cameras off. Could you please explain VIP and POIs? I'm going to come to speaker role. Yes, give me a moment. We need again, you can extend it, but without questioning them. So that's your ability. Could you question them? You can't question them. So you need to extend in such a way that that's not countering your team the first half. Also, you're adding something on top of that. Tanisha Arora, FCG. I guess a lot of question on the speaker role. Now, is there any question on the motion itself?
No, sir.
Well, the unprepared motion related to the prepared motion will be totally different. So don't obviously the idea is that these are going to be unprepared, but it's unprepared for everyone. So don't think that you don't have an argument to make what you will speak, but also think that your opposition also don't have anything. They have a limited time. There is no one knows other than our team knows what that you will debate on. So with that, you just come, you look at what is the major thing in this debate when you're looking at the unprepared, and then you made the definition and your constructive point. So think it as that you're talking to your friend, that you listen to something and then you're presenting your case. Yes, Mani, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was asking that if we like we'll get half an hour before the you were saying for the first prepared motion we'll get the script ready. So will we get it before will we get it half an hour before, so we'll get some time to prepare it?
So so for example, if your match is at 6:30 p.m., we will share the motion at 6 p.m. So you have half an hour to prepare your whatever you want to prepare your script, you want to prepare your pointers, your case. Yeah.
That will be doing. I'm asking that we're preparing that at our home, or we'll be doing it online in front of you.
So okay. So anyway, you want to do it. There will be a main room. So it's going to be a break like this Zoom. And then the debaters will be happening parallelly in multiple breakout rooms. And in the main session, you will be there. But at the same time, you can put your cameras on, cameras off also. So you need to prepare individually. You need not to show us your Google Doc.
Okay.
I have a similar question.
Go ahead.
That we have one already defined motion, that is large technology companies should not be eligible for patent protection. So so the timing that is given to us for this debate, will we join and the debate will start on the spot, or will there be like another half an hour given or something?
Start. You need to prepare before that. 4:30 is when the match starts for the first part.
Okay, and one more thing related to the motion. What does large technology company specifically mean?
That's an interesting question, but at the same time, look, this is what as a first speaker need to define. So this debate, this is the point of, look, you will see that in each and every room, there is the same motion. But if you are able to, not in this match, maybe someone else can follow, that you will find that in each and every room, there are different kind of argument. And why is it so? Because you will define in different fashion. So you as a team need to define how you describe a large company. Is it the number of employees that they have? Is it the market cap that they have? Is it the revenue that they have? Is the market in which they, the market share that they have is like, they are the leaders. So there are different parameters to define the large companies. And within that, the number, the metrics can change. Is it the 30% of the market share? Is it the 10%? But that need to be defined within your debate. I can't define for you.
All right. Thank you.
Fair?
Okay.
So, yeah, Shuraj, go ahead.
Yes, just one question, that if the, for example, the definition of, for example, this patent technology has been already given by the opening government. Now it is not questioned, but can the closing government like say that we want to add this different dimension to the definition? We are not contradicting the opening government, but at the same time, we are providing it a new reflection. So will it be counted as a penalty, or like will it work? So just this.
No, it's fair. So, okay, so as a member of government, that's your role to add a new dimension to the debate. So it's fair for you to add a new dimension through providing your extension to the debate.
Yes.
For example, in this debate, let's suppose, though even the first speaker, the Prime Minister, not specifically talk about information technologies companies, but their examples in the first half were just about Apple, Facebook, Google. Then in the second part, you can talk about companies where it's not about just the end product, even the process are patented. So you can shift from the end product to the processes. And then you can talk about the companies, which is like, pharmaceutical companies. That it's, so for example, if a company say that this molecule that we design should be patented, then that's a solution for a problem. And you're saying that's patented, then no one can design it. On the other hand, I say the way to design this molecule is what is being patented. Then other people can also create that innovation, that final product. But at the same time, they need to follow a different mechanism. So it's open up the innovation and also allow market competition to exist.
Okay.
Yes, I guess. Sir,
And can we just use our own timer while we are speaking? So like, can we use our own timer of 5
It's
minutes?
always ideal to have your
Okay.
your own timer.
What's the motion for day 2?
The Suraj, so were you not there in the? Okay, so I guess I just shared the logistics. It's already shared with the prepared motion on the Google Doc. Have you able to follow the Google Doc Excel sheet? Suraj? Okay. Now let me go to the.
I'm looking it
Nana,
up.
you go ahead.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, let's go one by one. Let's go with the Nana. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I was saying that. Could you please explain the motion for the first round in for 22nd April?
That's what I was doing. That this house would ban gene alteration. This house would ban all further research in gene alteration. So A, you need to understand as a debater what is a gene alteration. And within that, different kind of genes, which are controversial in nature, which are being passed as an hereditary. If I go further, then I'm primarily impending with your preparation. So will I not will go in that direction? But the idea is this: first, just understand the key terms. I guess the major terms over here is gene alteration. Then you need to look at like how gene alteration are helpful to us as humans, and what is the thing that can go wrong while researching them. Then you need to make the case that okay, why they need to be banned. If you're speaking for the side, what is the thing that can go help us, maybe the disease and all, that's going to be speaking a position that we should not ban gene alteration. So that's what you will do.
Okay, and sir, I wanted to ask one more thing. Like, if there will be a final round, so like you said, we cannot use any source to research on a topic, on our motion. So, in the final place, we have to make it upon our own.
Yes. So in the final day, what we will do, we will tell you the motion, or not on the final day, even in these the unprepared motion, we will tell you the motion which are generic, so you can understand them easily. If there is any definition that you don't know, you can ask the clarification to the CAs. In this case, it's going to be us. So you can ask the question to us that could you define this term? Okay. If that's the case, or if we want you to provide extra information, we will provide the info slides that you understand the motion. That's the first case. Now, after that, it's your understanding of the world that help you. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead. Kushag, you still have a question? Go ahead.
Sir, I also have a question.
Yeah, I'm taking all the questions. I'm here. I'm just picking one by one. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I am from Mayo College, sir. In Mayo College, we have our dinner fallen right now. So I just wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir, I just wanted to clear one doubt before the qualifiers. It's related to the speaker role, but I hope you can take it as we have no other session after this. So you're not audible, sir.
I'm saying, what's your question on the speaker role?
Yes, yes. So like, what does the MO need to elaborate on? Like, through which perspective should he add an extension? As you said, that the MG adds a different perspective, but should the member of opposition add the extension regarding to the member of government's perspective, or regarding to his leader of opposition's perspective?
Okay, so you are saying that how a member of government will add on to the debate, how will he provide the extension? Is that your question?
No, sir. I was asking you, like, as a member of opposition, as you said, like, of course, there will be a rebuttal, which will take time, but sir, after that, we'll have to add one of our extensions, right? So, sir, when we add an extension, so, sir, what should that extension be based on? Should it be based on the member of government's perspective that he has just introduced, or should it be based upon our leader of opposition's perspective that was in the first round?
Okay, just a second. I'm just giving you the. Yeah. So, if you are you're talking about from the opposition
member of opposition, yes.
Member of opposition.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
yeah, so you need, when I say extension, so you need to look from your side, correct? As a constructive, what you're adding to the debate, that's the extension. So without looking at what your opponent has said, that's going to be countering them. That's not your extension. So you need to provide your own extension. You can counter your opponent's extension, correct, or within the argument within that, but you need to have your own extension.
Yes, sir. So, sir, like that's what sir you said in the first half. Let's say public school. If we take the debate of public school, private school, in the first half, it's if it's affordability, and this, and in the second half, the member of government introduced, let's say, finance. So, sir, what should we add the extension on? Should we just add the extension on finance or on the affordability? That's what I was asking.
Okay, so let's suppose this debate is about this house believes that the private education system is better than the public one. Okay, and the initial part, obviously, the prime minister defines everything fine, that everyone agrees. But the major argument of the debate and the clashes was happening around affordability. That the first half goes. Then the member of government goes on to say that why the private education system is good. They says that, you know, the quality of education, so it's not just about affordability that we need to focus, which was the first part saying, correct, the prime
Yes.
minister said that affordability in everything. Then they focusing on the quality of education. So that the member of government, now as the member of opposition, what you need to say that why public education system is good. Either you can have the same extension that you kind of agree that we need to add the point, or we need to clash on their extension, which is the case, uh, the, the quality of education. Then you goes on to say that quality of education in the public sector will be far better because government already sent the national team for each and every sports. They have ministry of culture, they have ministry for each and every purpose, and they are better suited for this job. So that's just primarily relying on their extension. On the other hand, then you can talk about why this is like your own extension, why public education system is somewhat superior to other. Then you can talk about that maybe the quality of education is something that the private system had. That's the extension of the member of government. But what we're saying, that maybe some people, for them, the private schools are better. But as a cumulative, the government knows much more about the economies. They have economists, researchers working for them, that how the future going to look like. So they are well prepared and they are well accustomed to design the curriculum. So for the future of preparation, that's a new extension. I'm not buying the extension, or I will engage with the extension that the member of government provided, which is about the quality. I'm saying maybe the quality can be, say, better, less, or will be same as the private one. But I'm talking about that the public sector is better suited to prepare student for the future, because government rely on taxes and they need to look at the holistic economy of a country. So they will not be just looking at preparing student for a particular exam that all should become engineer. They will have a more holistic approach to public education, because they want eventually the economy to grow, and for that we need all and all kind of profession, and that's why they are better suited, and that's why we will should ban private education system, or we should go with the public one, because, you know, government is better suited. So that's like your extension, and that's the case that you are presenting.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, if that's the case, may I know the nature of question? We're running short of the time. Yeah, Devika.
Sir, are we going to do a demo debate today, like as you said in the starting?
Yes, I want to do demo debate, but before that, what I want to do, like, take the questions.
Okay.
If that's the case, like, do you have question other than the speaker's role? Puranjay Maheshwari, what's your question?
Yes, sir, I had a question, but now it's I got the answer to that, so the question is solved.
Perfect. Sarah Singh.
Sir, I have a question. May I ask?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just picking the name. Just you go ahead. Yeah, Sarah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to ask that if you could please explain the model of the opposition for the ban on gene editing again.
Okay. So for example, you're talking about how the opposition will provide a model for
Yeah.
banning something. Look, I can't pick this example because that's going to be not appropriate for people who are not in the debate, because I'm going to give them material. I can talk about a different kind of policy debate. Let me just think about a policy debate. This house would give direct transfer to poor. Like this house would subsidize. This house would give direct transfer to the poorest. So this house would ban direct transfer of money. Are you able to follow that motion?
Yeah. Yeah.
So currently, I guess that's a debate in the world happening, that what is the way to provide subsidy to the poor people. Uh, there are multiple ways to provide the subsidy. One is to say that we will give you the direct money. You have in India, we have Jan Dhan account. So we know that this is a population of India who live under whatever, like under poverty, whatever the criteria that we set by the policies, and then how to help them. That's the question. We are not questioning the the subsidy itself. We are questioning that what is the way to transfer that. Should we just give them food or what they need on the ground, or we should give them money? So ultimately it's their choice how they want to spend it. So that the debate is about. Now if I'm saying on the side that this house would ban direct transfer, because in India the status quo is that we are opting for direct transfer, especially our current government. Now if that's the case, that you will need to say that we will ban it. Now obviously when you ban something, that you will not do suddenly. You will need to have a model, in a sense that we will take it gradually. Let's suppose if we are doing direct transfer, that means that for now us to give the food through other means, we need to create some certain kind of framework. We need to create ration stores. We need to create different centers, but that takes some time. So you need to create that model, like how actually you will take out the ban. It's going to be within a 3 month, 4 month, what are the things. And the other thing that uh, what are the steps that you will take. I will take it gradually. What additionally I will do. On the other hand, what you will say as a team opposition. Now before making a model, you need to understand as a team opposition who is opting for a direct transfer of a cash, because you are saying that uh, we will not ban direct transfer of cash. That means that you are saying that the status quo is good, we should stay with the direct transfer of cash. So why we should do that? You will say that let the people choice, let the people decide what they want to do. It's their freedom, it's their choice that should matter. And that's why we want to give the direct money to the people and let them decide what they want to do with whatever they want to do. Now when you see the debate and you start planning the argument that are going to follow in this debate, that you will see that our let's suppose we're talking about a poor village in India where there is no infrastructure. Then the team will say, look, the team opposition will say that direct transfer. So for example, if you are in a certain off part of India, or say whatever country is, then giving just the money to you will really be beneficial. Then you will realize that you need even a basic infrastructure to use your money. So for example, if I give you a money and you are living in a remote corner of India where you don't have access to roads, you don't have access to hospital, will you able to utilize that money? Then you will realize that no, we need to have certain common grounds, which is your hospitals, which is some sort of infrastructure. Then you as a person who are opting for direct transfer need to build a model that how this common functionality need to exist, which is like road and everything. We are giving direct transfer to people because government is not able to build the infrastructure over there, or they don't have capability as the people in the cities. Now if that's the case, and the government is not putting the money through common, which is creating the road, they're directly giving the money to the poor people, then who will develop the road? So then you need to create that model, that we will create a community driven model, that we will pool the money, then we'll create a hospital, then we'll create a school. That's what you will do. That's a very elaborative answer. Hope that helps you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank
So
you.
uh, If that's there, let me jump to the practice match. We're running out of time.
Excuse me,
Can
sir.
you, yes, Ananya.
Sir, I have two questions which I've been waiting for very, very long. May I ask them?
Okay, go ahead.
Can we add definition as closing government if the Prime Minister misses some kind of dimension in the definition?
Yeah, so that's what the extension is all about. So it's the extension. Look, what is the definition over here? So as I mentioned in your case, this house believes the large technology companies. If your team focus on a certain kind of areas, then you can extend that there are other areas or there are other part of the conversation which also matters, so that you can very much add to the
So
debate.
that is allowed, right? Is all what I mean to ask. That is allowed. That we can
That's
go
allow,
ahead
that's
and
allow, but at the same time you
send.
can't. So if you are, for example, the first, you are the closing government, you can add, extend the debate, but you can't counter that your team, the opening government, has said something wrong. You can't say that the definition that they said is wrong. You only say that there's also another perspective to this,
Yes, sir.
or
Okay.
there are another kind of technology companies.
Got it.
So you are saying that, so it's like this. So what they said is also true, and there is one more additional point to make. It's your, you can't say that what they say is incorrect. That's not, that will make you lose the marks. That's called as knife. That, don't do that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And
Aditya.
also, if the opening government we know comes up and defines the motion, gives a roadmap and so on. So how should be the introduction of the first member of the closing government look like? Like how should he or she start?
You're saying if the opening government defines something.
No, sir, I'm saying that we know for sure that the first member of the opening government has to come up, define the motion, give a roadmap, and then move on to his constructives. How should the introduction of the first member of the closing government look like? The member of the
Okay, okay.
government, how should the introduction be?
So you need to look at what the things have happened to the debate till that point of time. So basically, you are coming in the second half. Before you, already the match has happened till a point. You need to start with that. What has already happened? I'm again going to share, refer the slides because they are already being shared. So you can also look at them after the conversation is over. So this is like member of government and the member of opposition, the third speaker from both the sides. Now, what the first thing that they need to do? They need to rebut. So that's the first case, that you need to look at what has happened in the first part, and then you say that your opposition says this is this, which is not wrong, whatever. Then you goes on to extension.
Sir, I understand that we have to rebut and go on to our extensions and constructives, but do we begin with that? How do we begin? We begin with good evening to the house at large and stuff?
So that's like a, look, that's okay. That's, that's like a 5 seconds. Up to you how you want to start. I will not comment on that. So you can say that up to this point, these three things have been happened. So it's like a initial one-liner. These three clashes have happened in the debate. Correct. So you start with that idea that our team opposition speaks about this, and then you counter that. So yeah, you will start with the rebuttal.
I got it. Thank you.
With that, Aditya.
Sir, next can I
Sir,
ask?
could you please elaborate on the topic, that roadmap?
Have you joined it now, Aditya? Because
No, sir.
I spent a lot of time on the motion itself, both the motions.
Yeah.
So maybe then you can watch the recording because that's I just covered. Devika, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask, like, we should start like this only, na? Like, good evening or afternoon, and like, this house believes that large technology companies should not be eligible for patent protection, and then I should firstly say the definition, and then like go on.
Look, how you start, it's like you are talking about how to write an essay. There are multiple ways to do that. What you said is perfectly fine. So you can go ahead with that.
Sir,
Yes, Vani.
also,
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. What's your question? Look, it's leaving us less time for the demo debate. So please, if you don't have it's a similar nature of question, then please don't ask it. Yeah,
Sir,
go ahead, Devika.
yes,
Yeah,
sir,
go
could
ahead,
you
Devika.
please explain? Sir, I understood, but I still had some doubts to clarify on the role of Deputy Prime Minister.
Okay, taken. Okay, I will come to this. Bhavan Sharma.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to confirm that a rebuttal is like a counter argument for the arguments that have been made by the opposition, right?
Perfect. Yes, that's a counter argument. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a
Nice.
different question. I'm Devanshi. Can I please ask?
I'm just going by order. Naisha Gupta.
Yes, thank you. Your example got me thinking. It was public education. The government is actually against public education. So, is the government in this situation just a title, or can we use, like, for example, in the unprepared debate, can we use the example such as you are the government, you run the system, or will the government just be another word for proposition?
Look, government actually is a government, correct? But at the same time, you also understand that always government don't stand for the public property. So, for example, even if you look at it in India, the government is trying to sell a lot of PSUs, public sector companies, because they believe that they are not in the nature of being in business, and that they want to sell companies like whatever the companies you talk about. So being in the government doesn't mean that you always will say that we have all the resources, understanding to everything. In some case, government do promote people to open private education system.
I understand your point, but in general, is the government just a title or another word for proposition being used, or we actually call them the government?
Idea of a government is that it's a parliamentary debate we are talking about. In
Right.
a parliament, the government has the right to bring a bill. Correct. So the one who is bringing the bill is the government. The one is proposing a change. So you understand how the debates happen, and that's a good ground to know what is debating is about. That we select in a democratic country, we select the government to bring some changes, to bring new policies, to make our country thrive. And that's why the government has the onus to bring new changes. So they bring a motion, and then whatever is the motion, the government stands for it. So that's why they are for the motion, always the government.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So with that, Devanshi.
Yes, sir. You were mentioning something earlier about the novice debaters, that they will have a separate final round. So please elaborate on that. Sir, you are not audible.
Am I not audible?
Sir, now you're audible.
I'm saying team is working to get a different final also for novice. So they are working on it because we realize that many of you are debating for the first time, and it's a good idea to give a representation for the first time. Because
So, sir,
go
in my team, like my partner is in grade 7 and I'm in grade 9. So will our team be considered as a novice debater team?
I guess by the morning, I will ask them to share the definition of novice in the group.
Okay.
What is the definition? The definition is going to stay the same. You don't think that you're a novice. Just debate as it possible. It's up to us to declare, correct? And whatever the definition we will share with everyone, we will let you know. So don't worry
I do
about
want
that.
to share one thing with all of you. Hi, everyone. That when we competed for Oxford Union, there were 4 teams, and it was the youngest team that won. Because debating in British parliamentary is about structure and the rules as well. So don't worry about debating the first time, or the fact that it might be your initial debates, right? Trust us, we've seen wonders happen when students put their minds to it.
Yes, ma'am, for sure.
Yeah, I'm very sure. So some of you are pinging, my partner is very young. Don't worry about it. Just it's the chemistry that you will have with your partner. It's the planning that you will do. It will be the constructives that you put together. And that's the reason we give you a prepared motion, that go through the motion with a topic, because that kind of preparation will help you think कि जब unprepared आएगा ना, when you get an unprepared topic, then how will you approach it? Because the strategy of how you approach an unprepared topic, and the topics are relatively easier than the prepared motion, will help, because you and your partner would have connected earlier. Come and please carry on.
Sir,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, like, what is constructive argument in that the PDF, please?
No. Look, so there are two kind of argument in a debate. Constructive means that you are adding new to the debate. So for example, the debate is about the private education versus the public education. And if I'm speaking for the private education, I talks about the quality of education, correct? The teacher ratio, the excellent, extracurricular activity they offer, the debating that they offer, the sports facilities they have, the focus they have on the student. That's as a constructive point. What is a destructive point? Is that, or the rebuttal is that I look at my opposition and they talk about something about, say, whatever they talk about, the public education are affordable. Then I will counter this with their argument. So now I'm making an argument, but it's based on an argument raised by my opposition. And what is I'm saying? That maybe they are much more affordable. But the point is that should we trade off quality in the name of affordability? Should we trade off quality in the name of affordability? Shouldn't we deserve a better education? And if we can afford it, shouldn't government let us decide that our student, we want a better education, not just the affordable? Affordable need to be there, but the priority is the quality, because we are talking about future here. So that's an argument basis, the argument that raised by my team opponent. So I'm trying to oppose them. That's why it's called a destructive argument. And there are multiple ways you can say rebuttal in other
Okay,
ways.
sir.
Jagriti Giri.
Sir, I have a doubt that when means you were telling that both days we have a debate, so my order was not clear. So please, can you tell again if
So
you have?
Jagriti, you don't have a matches on both the days. I'm okay. This is a question on logistics. I guess I'm just doing it again. So this is Jagriti. Let's try to see where's the Jagriti. So first you need to identify who's your team member. This is for everyone who's still in the session. I'm just taking it back. Do we have Jagriti in our sheet? Jagriti, what's your name?
My name Gurukul 23 and partner is Singh.
Yeah, this is your name, correct? So your team is with Mantek Singh Gurukul, correct? And your team name is Gurukul 23, correct? You can see that?
Yes.
And also look at your match is on 22nd of April. So this is one you identify that my team name is Gurukul 23. Then I will take it from here, go to the all rounds, and then search my name. You as a team need to play 2 matches. So once you do Control F on the sheet, and this you can do only when you are using from the laptop. In the mobile, you have to search by your, or there's a control mechanism. So preferable you use a mobile once you're finding your team. Now, when you find the first team, so for example, this is on the 22nd, I have a round 1, which is prepared motion. So my match is at 4:30 p.m. on 22nd of April. My room is 2, that means the breakout room in the Zoom, and my match start at 4:30 p.m. And then this is my prepared motion. This house would ban all further research in the gene alteration. Then I also need to look at that second match that I have. My second match is at 6:30 p.m. on 22nd of April. I'm going to be in the room number 2, and this is my role, opening a position. And obviously this is an unprepared motion, so you will receive the motion 30 minutes prior.
Sir, to me it's saying closing a position, but
This is for the first match. So you have 2 different matches, and for different matches you will have different roles to play. Okay, so, and again for everyone, if you don't know your team member, please ping on the group, talk to them, have a conversation, because you need to identify who will go first and second. You need to have a speaker order, and then you need to prepare the motion.
what
Yeah.
extent can we bend the motion? Maybe for example, if my model of the motion suggests that we want to ban certain types of gene alteration, or is the motion absolute?
Look, so again, so I guess when I say you need to have some sort of framework, so you can say that I will ban certain kind of uh, molecules, the drugs, but then you need to make a case that why you're banning they versus not. You need to have a certain fundamental premise that the drugs which are detrimental to the bodies, that's the one I'm trying to ban. So you need a justification for your framework, the model. Yes, let's go with Jagriti. I've already answered your question. Uttam Tripathi.
Yes, sir. So I had a doubt about the POI, so I didn't understand it quite well enough.
POI is okay. So POI is simple. So for example, I'm delivering my speech, and if you are from the opposite teams and you think that any point that I say you don't agree with it, or you want more clarification, or you think this is not correct, you can just raise your hand virtually, or as if I'm the speaker, if I allow you to take a verbal POIs, you can say I have a POI, then it's my choice. I can take that question or not. And within your POI, you can ask me a question that A, could you clarify? B, you've quoted about that the private education system, the public education system is good, but the results being in the last 3 years, the toppers of the CBSE are coming from private school. Isn't that proof that the private education is better? So it's like you're asking a question to the speaker through your POI. Now this question can be of different nature. It can be just clarification. It can be a rebuttal to them, a short snippet rebuttal. It can be a different thing.
Yes, sir. So my now doubt was, sir, so can someone who has spoken, sir, can use a POI against someone who is speaking after
Yes,
them?
yes. Yeah, very much.
Okay,
If
sir.
you are in the first part, so for example, if you are opening government, you can raise a POI to the closing opposition.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. It's leaving no time for the demo debate. Harjas Kaur, go ahead.
Yeah, I had two questions. First, how will we get to know when to ask a POI? Will any sound or clarification be made?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm just going to share the slides again for your reference. Give me a moment. Okay. So all of you going to deliver the speeches for 5 minutes. That's the first thing. Now, in the first 1 minute, when a speaker start till 1 minute, you can't ask a POI. That's a protected time. That's always the case. Now, in the last 1 minute, also from 4 to 5, it's a protected time. But if I'm the speaker and is it my like 4:30, if I says that is there any POI, then you can raise a POI. But the ideal time is between 1 minute till 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. But how will we know when the protective time, like how will we know when the time starts to ask POIs, when the protective time isn't there?
You need to have your own counter. So for example, if I'm the speaker, I need to have my own stopwatch that I need to look into. Also, as your opposition, you need to look. So you need to have your timer. Look, so for example, if I know that the Harj is speaking, then I need to start. Like Harj starts speaking, so that I automatically get to know that okay, 1 minute is over and I can ask a POI. So
okay,
in many of the debates, the adjudicator can tell you about the time, but it's not a mandate to them. That means it's not mandatory for a adjudicator to do that, because the primary role of adjudicator in the debate is to take your notes. That means they have to give the verdict. This is a secondary role. They can play it or not. So that's not guaranteed. Some adjudicator are comfortable with it or not. So that's why don't rely on them. Have your own timers.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry if I'm not disturbing you. Can I ask a question?
Yes, Vani, go ahead.
So in case our partner doesn't join the debate, so will the whole team be disqualified?
Yes.
So can you answer this?
Yes, you will be disqualified. We can't do a debate if your team member is not there.
Okay.
Yeah, I had just one more question. If in the unprepared debate, can we type our speeches or do we have to handwrite them?
No, you have to deliver your speeches.
No, like we can't just like prepare it in our mind. Like we have to have a. I'm just saying that.
It's totally up to you. You want to use a pen and paper, you want to use notes like me, I prefer notes. You want to use a Google Doc, or you are the third person, we don't want to rely on any notes. It's totally up to you.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I prefer that you prepare at least some notes. Don't write your entire script, but at least type like what are the 3 arguments that I will make, at least a summaries. It will help you.
Sir, is
Okay.
it important? Sir, like, is it necessary to raise a POI? Like,
Yes, it is. It's look, the idea of a debate is to show engagement, that you are agreeing with your side and you are disagreeing with your opposition. And the only way, one of the way, is to showcase it to the POI.
sir, like, so can you give an example of how to raise a POI? Like, the topic you can take like public and private education, like you were saying now.
Yeah. So okay. So if I'm speaking for the in the same debate, private versus public education, and I'm speaking in the favor of private education, I say that public schools or the government schools are not holistic in nature. They don't have infrastructure to focus on different needs of student. They don't have sport facilities and different kind of facilities. But on the other hand, the private schools are designed for holistic growth and all. Then you can raise a POI. Don't you think that the government already prepared the teams and the government bodies prepared the national teams, so they are better suited to provide infrastructure to the schools?
Sir, so like when we are speaking the speech, so like we have to directly like speak it in the speech only, or we have to say like I would like to raise a POI like that.
No. If you look, for example, if I'm a speaker, then someone else will raise a POI to me.
Okay, sir. So like we have to tease a,
Okay, so
raise a POI for the opposing team.
Devika, just consider this. Like, I am the speaker. I'm talking about why private education systems are good. They are bad, whatever. Like, I'm talking about in their favor. You on your team opposition, because you are in the favor of public education, and you say that this team says something which I don't buy. Then you can raise a POI that you will say to me when I'm speaking. I have a POI. Now, either I can agree with you or disagree. Then you can answer. If I agree, then you can go on to say that you mentioned about this point and this is not true, and this is also true in the case of public education and whatever.
So like you have to raise the POI for the opposing team.
Yes.
Okay, and like it's basically like we object them on a certain point, right?
Yes. So within their speech, you need to identify what they said, and then you say that whatever, this is not true, this is not correct, this is not impactful.
Okay.
If our partner is unable to join, will we get compensated?
What does it mean?
Will we get back the fees we paid?
Look, if you're not done till today, I guess it's you are just out of the debate. We will not able to accommodate that.
Okay.
Because and to be very honest, actually, if your team member is anyone is not missing, you're just disturbing the flow of entire match. We really want to penalize. If we have the mechanism to that, we will penalize you for the future debates. You understand?
No,
Because
what I mean to say
it's a
is
parliamentary debate, and I'm just telling you, it's not just for us, for any debate. Because if one member doesn't show up, then you are not just affecting your team member, you're affecting the flow of the entire debate. Especially, let's suppose it's a match, and the opening government is not there, one of the team member is not there, then it's very hard for debate to go onward. That means that we want to penalize that student for not able to be on the time and be not able to put their schedule.
no, I'm
Yeah.
not planning to skip the
I'm
debate.
just
What I'm
telling
saying
you,
is,
and we will not penalize. I guess in this case, we do not have a mechanism to penalize because we are not a punitive. We are not selecting. Once we select for something, like for example, making team for a competition, then we do make it, coercive in a sense that we penalize.
No,
because
all I'm asking is, if my team member decides to not join, will I get compensated?
Okay, so your case, look, I'm saying that you are breaking the flow. Okay, you are the team, you are the part of the team speaker. It's very, very difficult for us to do that. That's A. B, we have to look at the case. If there's some medical emergency, we'll see. So that depends what your team opposition is doing. If there is some case, that do let us know now. Are you able to contact with your team member? That's the question that only I will ask. As a team member, your onus is to talk to your team members. If you believe that that's the case, then do let us know our team and all. Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not just about you. It's not just about money. There's an adjudicator waiting. There's other team waiting. So you're breaking the entire flow. No, not you, but whoever is not there. Yeah, let's go ahead to the second question. Only 3 hand raise. Kushag, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, so I wanted to ask, like for the unprepared motions, what is the prep time?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, cool. Also, so essentially, let's say the unprepared motion for tomorrow, that starts at 6:30. So when will be given the motion? At 6:30 or before that?
If the motions, the match start at 6:30, you will get it at 6 p.m.
Cool, cool. Thanks.
Uttam Tripathi. Uttam, you have a question? No. Lavanya Singhal.
So just one last question. For the prepared motion time slot, do we have to join like half an hour before? Like it's 4:30 to 5:30. So do we have to join at 4 o'clock, or we will join at 4:30?
4:30. The direct match started at 4:30 because it's a prepared motion. So there is no 30 minutes. You will directly jump at 4:30 and the match will start.
And for the unprepared motion, we have to join 30 minutes earlier to get topic and prepare ourselves for that.
Yeah, correct. Vani Yadav, what's your question?
Sorry.
So sorry to just.
Yeah, go ahead, Lavanya.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that some of us have been waiting since 7:30 for the demo debate, so it would be really great if we
Look,
could do
I
it.
think we are running quite late. It's 8:50. So what I will do, I will share a video on your group. So it's like a demo debate that you can watch.
Right. So we won't be having one right now.
Yeah, I prefer not to do that because that will extend till 9:30 and others have to take their dinner and all.
Right. Cool. Not a problem.
So I'm happy to take questions. If you're waiting for a demo debate, I prefer to share a video on the group.
So if that's final, those who do not have doubts can leave.
Yes, very much.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Shreyansh.
Sir, I was allotted with my partner yesterday. So I have seen that from the starting, my partner has not joined.
Okay. And you're not able to touch base with your partners?
So right now, when I just unmuted, our message came.
It's Shagun. No, I guess Shagun messaged on the group yesterday. So Shagun was also active. So your partner is Shagun.
I couldn't see, but I couldn't see her in the meeting.
Maybe he's not in the meeting, but he's there on the WhatsApp. You can check in the WhatsApp.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me,
Oh,
sir.
yes. Yesha and everyone who is there. I'm again at rating. So we will not be able to do the demo debate. So we will share a video that you can watch the debate match. I'm here to take questions. For the demo debate, you can watch it in your spare time. So you need not to skip your dinner
Yes, sir.
because we are receiving the messages from
It was
parents.
nice meeting you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Now only who have questions stay here. Yeah.
I have a question, sir.
One by one, let's go. Yeah. So, Suman, yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So I had a question about the breaks. Will it be judged like will the best 4 teams go to finals, or will it be the best 8 individuals with best speaker scores going to finals? Will it be by team or by person?
So for you're saying for the final day, 24th, the offline one?
Yeah. Whoever breaks.
Yeah, so it's going to be the teams. So if you're part of a team, either your team breaks or not. It's not the individual speakers.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Aditya, go ahead.
Sir, in the unprepared motion, we will get 30 minutes earlier.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Then Urvi Garg, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Just a quick question that, sir, imagine that the opposite team asks a question. So that can anyone in the team answer that question, or just the one which is going to speak after him or her?
Look, you raise a POI to a person. If your question is around the POI, so if you are a team opposition, you ask a POI to me, so then I need to answer that POI. When in terms of rebuttal, if your question is about the rebuttal, that is the prime minister speaks something, then the leader of opposition goes on to say that whatever rebuttal to that, then obviously you can't speak. Then your team member need to counter it.
Okay, sir.
With that, let me go to Mitchell Shukla.
Regarding the am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Regarding the POIs, I just wanted to ask that if someone asks the POI, can we deny it? Like, if we don't want
Very
to, if
much,
we are in
yes.
the middle of
As
things.
a speaker, it's your discretion to take a POI or not. You can reject it.
Does that affect any of our like points or something?
What?
Will that affect the points or something like that?
Okay, so the idea is that is a debate, as I say, keep saying, it's about engagement. So we prefer that each speakers take a POI. Now, if you are delivering a speech and someone raise a POI when you are adding a point, so you can reject that POI at that point of time, but after say whatever, after finishing that point, then you can ask if you have a POI, go ahead.
We can just stop them right there, and then we can say that maybe later or something like that.
Yeah, the idea is that you need to showcase that I'm open to take POIs. But at that particular point, I was not able to because it was breaking my flow, but I'm happy to take it now. You need to showcase that you are willing to engage.
All that will happen within those 5 minutes.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. Yes, Uttam, go ahead now.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask, like, in our what's the limit that it's going over more about the POI? Like, sir, how many POI are recommended to ask? Now, sir, you're muted.
I'm not audible.
Yes, sir, now you are.
I'm saying if you're a speaker, your team can start asking the POI after first minute. Now, if they raise a POI, now even if you agree, disagree, if you take it or not take it, then they need to wait at least 30 seconds to raise a second POI. So ideally, they can ask only 2 to 3 POIs in 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Ronak, grade 12.
Sir, what time will the unprepared debate take place?
They're on the same schedule.
So what?
I'm saying you can check in on the schedule. You do have this link to the schedule. So either it's going to be 6:30 or 7:30.
Sir, is the schedule on the WhatsApp group?
Oh, you don't have a schedule?
Uh,
Are you in the group, WhatsApp group?
yeah. I'll just read the messages. I think I must have skimmed.
I'm just sharing it also in the chat. It's a Google document, it's a Google spreadsheet link. Okay, so that's that. Please go and check your schedule. And also you need to talk to your partner. First, identify who is your partner, your team name, and then identify your schedule. Vineet, you go ahead now.
Yes, so just two quick questions. First of all, can we say that we will ask the POI like in the chat? So what is regarding that? So just clarification regarding that. And second question would be that
okay, if I'm the speaker, it's my preference. Either I can take a verbal POIs, which is you saying, interrupting me while I'm speaking. Otherwise, you can write in the, so I can say I prefer POIs to the chat. Then your opposition need to write the POI word in the chat.
Okay, so the question would be verbal, but he can just write a POI in the chat.
Yes. So look, so before asking a question, you need to seek a permission from the speaker to take a POI. So for example, if I'm a speaker, you need to say, if I'm taking a verbal POI, you need to say, I have a POI or whatever, like POI itself. Then I can say agree, disagree, I will take it, I will not take it, I will take it later, whatever. If I give you permission, then you need to only to ask a question. Similar goes in the chat. If you write a POI, then if I look and I agree that, okay, go ahead, share your POI, ask your POI, then only you need to ask the question.
Okay, and the second question would be that we'll get the results soon, like before we start the second round, we'll get the results of the first round, right?
After your match, you will get the verdict.
Okay, and just the last question, I just had a little query that as I am, for example, the closing government's first speaker. So in that sense, I have to rebut the stances made by the opening opposition, right?
Yeah.
Yes, just regard. So thank you.
Okay. Devika, this is last question. Go ahead.
Sir, sorry, I raised my hand before, but I forgot to do it.
Perfect. So with